YouTubers, Hankster here, and welcome to another movie review. And today's movie we're going to be focusing on is Captain America, the Winter Soldier, starring Chris Evans, Samuel L. Jackson, Robert Redford, and Scarlett Johansson. Now, to have to say it off front, I'm not going to try to give anything away here. And of course, if any of you are watchers of the ABC series Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, you might have, but have yet to see the movie, you might have already got a gist of what's going to happen in the movie through what's happening in this. As I've read and all, I don't watch. Not that I just haven't really had a chance to watch the series, but it is connected to this particular movie. Even though, oddly enough, Agent Carlson is not really mentioned in the movie. He's not even makes an appearance in the movie. So basically, it's sort of like two separate storylines that are connected with this major revelation that happens involving S.H.I.E.L.D. as a whole. And it's just like different points of view of how people react to this movie. Now, of course, the background is, of course, Captain America is still adjusting to the 21st century. He makes a new friend in the sense of a former soldier from the Afghan/Iraqi wars, who, of course, later find out is the Falcon. He has a very unique way of flying with really cool wings that the movie itself just shows really cool. The effects of him flying and everything are superb. I'm really impressed with that. And of course, obviously the fighting scenes and the ships and everything, they're pretty badass too. So that's one draw of it. Now, of course, meanwhile, Nick Fury is trying to find out what is going on within S.H.I.E.L.D. Itself. It's about to release some alternate devices to help secure the world better, but he finds out something that isn't too kosher within S.H.I.E.L.D, and something happens to him which draws in Captain America as well as Black Widow, played by Scarlett Johansson. Speaking of Black Widow, I'm glad that they kind of made her more delve into her character a little bit more, that she's a little bit more humorous. She can carry on a normal conversation even while she's working, and kind of has an interesting sense of humor in the movie. But we kind of delve more into her. We kind of delve more into Nick Fury more than we did in their. Black Widow's only appeared in two other movies, Iron Man 2 and the Avengers movies, but now we're kind of getting more into her character, and of course this might open up to a future Black Widow movie. Of course, there's been reports that they might be doing a Black Widow movie. Of course, obviously, they probably won't do it until after Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, and of course, after Scarlett Johansson has her kid. So we'll just have to wait for that for a little while. And of course, as I said, Nick Fury we get to see a little bit more into him as well, his point of view on things, let's put it that way. Now, of course, Captain America's old enemies, or at least the old enemy organization known as Hydra, rears its tentacle-covered head in this movie. Even though I do have to say, even though he is briefly mentioned, we do not really see the Red Skull, so we don't know what has actually happened to him in this version of the Marvel Universe, which is pretty interesting because there's action figures of small and large action figures of him, and I kind of think, well, yeah, he's going to rip off of the skies, and oh look, it's the Red Skull, but that never really happened. I didn't expect him. I really expected him to rear his ugly head again, but he really didn't. Even though we did see one of the lead scientists of Hydra make a sort of an interesting reappearance in the movie as well. Now, of course, the movie itself kind of touches on current events here in the real world. Of course, a lot of people worried about the security, especially of our country, and of course, the fear about how far could we go with security. We know with the thing with going on with drones and the government and police looking in on us with cameras and the internet and everything. It kind of goes into a larger scale in this movie, and it's mostly connected to this project that S.H.I.E.L.D. has gotten itself involved in, which is sort of the background plot in this movie. Now, of course, the major question is, who is the Winter Soldier? It's this mysterious, cybernetically enhanced supervillain or assassin who appears and tries to take on Captain America. Now, of course, if you people out there have read the Captain America comic book storyline and all, you already know who it is. For you people who might just get into Marvel Comics through the movies and everything and not really delved into it, I'm not going to spoil the surprise about who this character really is. Let's just say we met him before. Of course, we do get reunited with at least one person from Captain America's past that I can safely say, the British agent that he kind of started having a romance with in World War II before his untimely freezing. Of course, we meet her, a much older version of her in one scene. Of course, we kind of find out she's was behind the formation of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all, and that she and Captain America are still very close. Steve Rogers and her are still very close, even though she had moved on in her life since his disappearance. But all in all, it's a pretty good movie. I do like the new addition to the Marvel superhero roster, of course, with the Falcon. Of course, I am familiar with the character of the Falcon. I used to have, from my brother, who's now passed away a couple years ago. He used to have, and I got a hold of it, a record with all these Marvel superhero adventures on it. And one of the adventures was one involving Captain America and the Falcon going up against the son of Baron Zemo, who called himself the Phoenix. And Falcon was the one who, of course, saved Captain America from being killed by this villain. And I do like how they kind of did it. He didn't have some flashy outfit or anything, even though his flying abilities in this movie are pretty good. They kind of do that pretty good for the CGI. Obviously, it is CGI, and his wings are a pretty interesting device as well. I mean, they look like metallic wings, but they just work superb in this movie. So I'm just impressed by that. Of course, I'm also impressed with the fighting scenes. I'm also impressed with the CGI'd hardware. When I say CGI, I'm talking about the ships and everything, the helicarriers and the shield jets and everything. They're pretty cool too. So. It's pretty interesting to see how this movie turns out. And, of course, once again, like all the other Marvel movies that have been coming out, of course, once again, Stan Lee has returned in a small role. But, of course, it kind of fits what he's been playing in quite a few of these movies, especially the Hulk movies. If you see what he plays in the Hulk movies, you know that it kind of goes back on this when it comes to this particular movie. And he has a funny line in the movie too. So even though it's a small scene, it is still a funny scene with him in it. So check that out. Now, of course, with Robert Redford, I really didn't expect him to be in this movie because being what I'd known of him, especially since that last movie he did involving that guy being lost out in the sea in a rowboat or whatever, I didn't expect him to be in a superhero movie, especially with the type of character he's plays in the movie. His character is sort of one of the head honchos, or sort of a go-between between S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Security Council, and of course he is supposed to be close friends to Nick Fury, and all. He was the one who helped Nick Fury get the job, and all. But there's more to this guy than meets the eye, and he's of course somehow connected to what's going to happen with S.H.I.E.L.D. and everything like that. But all in all, it's a pretty good movie. It's not really connected to any other, Marvel superhero movies that are going on. It's not connected to, last year's Thor movie, Thor: The Dark World, and all. It's not connected to, Guardians of the Galaxy or Spider-Man or the X-Men movies or anything, the new X-Men movie or anything like that. It's, basically splitting off and going there. Of course, obviously, Chris Evans will return as Captain America in the upcoming sequel to the Avengers movie, The Age of Ultron, next year. But this is it's more connected to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. television series to anything else that's going on in the live-action entertainment Marvel Universe, pretty much. But it's a good movie to see. I can see why it's been the #1 movie for the past 3 weeks. Probably it's going to be maybe make it for another 4th week. Now, of course, the major competition it might get, it's from another Marvel superhero. Of course, next week's release of Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Plan to go see that next Friday. So, of course, that will be a review on that around that same time. Of course, also Marvel's still got a couple more movies after that. Of course, later in May they got X-Men, Days of Futures Past coming out, as well as the Guardians of the Galaxy in August. And of course, that's just the beginning of all the movies I'm planning to watch and do reviews on for the year 2014. Got Godzilla. Want to go see Transformers Age of Extinction as well, and maybe a couple other movies that it's kind of slipped my mind, but I want to go, hopefully catch this year and do reviews on and all. So my new movie reviews will be coming up soon in the near future. Of course, I will be doing an interesting review quite soon, in connecting to a new television series on CBS. That's of course the TV series based on Bad Teacher. I'm not only going to do a review on the TV series, but also the movie itself, which of course originally starred Cameron Diaz. So keep an eye out for that. And I think my next video will of course be sort of a rant on another upcoming movie, which I did see a trailer for while I was waiting for Captain America to come on. That of course is the Maleficent movie starring Angelina Jolie. You will not believe what I've come up with when it comes to a rant for that movie, so stay tuned for that. And stay tuned for more reviews and whatnot here on the Multiverse. See ya.